Hello students, how are you? I am your Rupesh sir speaking and you are watching your very own educational channel Physics E-Mind. Today I am going to discuss with you some problems related to fundamental of derivative and integration, and this session is part 1. Okay, let's start. First problem is the velocity time equation of an object moving in a straight line is given by v equals to 30 plus t plus 3t square. Find displacement of particle at time t equals to 1 second if it is given that initial displacement of the object is 10 meter. Also find the acceleration time equation. Let us move to the solution. So the velocity time relation as it is given is v equals to 30 plus t plus 3t square. So we are having dx dt equals to 30 plus t plus 3t square, and so dx equals to 30 plus t into 3t square into dt. Okay. Now integrating both sides of this equation, we are having integration dx within the limit 10 to x equals to integration 30 plus t plus 3t squared dt within the limit 0 to 1. Why we have taken these limits? Because at t equals to 0, initial displacement has been given as 10 units, and we need to find out the displacement at t equals to 1. Okay, and let it be x. So after integration we are having x within the limit 10 to x, and right side is 30 t 0 to 1 plus half t square 0 to 1 plus 3 by 3 t cube 0 to 1. So we are having, after putting all the limits, x minus 10 equals to 30 into 1 minus 0 plus half into 1 square minus 0 square plus 3 are cancelled out, and we are having 1 cube minus 0 cube. Okay. So what we are having is 30 plus half plus 1 in the right hand side, and minus 10 was in the left hand side, and we have put it in the RHS as plus 10. Okay. So total displacement will be x equals to 41.5 at t equals to 1. Okay students. Now we need to find out the acceleration. Okay, so differentiating both sides this velocity expression with respect to t, we have dv dt equals to ddt of 30 plus t plus 3t square, which gives us a equals to 1 plus 60. So equation 3 gives us the acceleration time equation. Okay students, hope you have understood it. Let us move forward to the problem number 2. The position time equation of a particle is given by following mathematical pattern, that is x equals to 40 plus t cube minus 48t. So we need to compute position and velocity at t equals to 0. Number 2, we need to show whether the motion is uniformly accelerated or not. And number 3, calculate the position of the particle when velocity is 0. So let us move forward to the solution. Number 1 part is position time relation has been given like this. It has been given already, right, in the problem. So we need to find out position at t equals to 0. Putting 0 in equation 1, we are having x equals to 40 unit. Okay. Now differentiating both sides of equation 1. What is equation 1? That is this equation, x equals to 40 plus t cube minus 48t. Differentiating both sides of this equation 1 with respect to t, we have dx dt equals to v equals to 3t square minus 48. At t equals to 0, the velocity will be minus 48 unit. Okay. Next we need to find out the acceleration. So again differentiating the velocity expression, that is 3t square minus 48, we are having dv by dt equals to d2x dt2 equals to a equals to 60. So we are having acceleration is time dependent over here, right? Hence we can say that acceleration is non-uniform in nature. Final part, we need to find out the position of the particular object at the time at which the velocity becomes 0. So we need to first find out the time at which the velocity becomes 0, right? So we are having 3t square minus 48 equals to 0, which results as t equals to 4, discarding t equals to minus 4. We have discarded this negative value of time, okay? Putting t equals to 4 over here in velocity expression, what we are having, x4 equals to 40 plus 4 cube. No, not in velocity expression, rather we need to find out the position, right? So we need to put t equals to 4 in this position expression. Position expression, that is 40 plus t cube minus 48t. So we are having x4, that is position at t equals to 4. We are having putting t equals to 4 in that expression that we have shown is x4 equals to 40 plus 4 cube minus 48 into 4, that is minus 88 unit. Okay, students. So let us move forward to the third problem, which is the position y of a moving object varies with time t as y equals to pt cube plus qt square plus rt plus s. We need to compute the ratio of initial velocity to initial acceleration. Okay. So the solution is as follows. The position time relation is given by y equals to pt cube plus qt square plus rt plus s. Differentiating both sides of equation 1 with respect to t, we are having dy dt equals to v equals to 3 pt square plus 2 qt plus r. So putting t equals to 0 over here, we are having initial velocity v0 equals to r. Okay. Now again differentiating both sides of equation 2 with respect to t, we are having dv dt equals to a equals to 6 pt plus q. Putting t equals to 0 in this acceleration equation, we are having initial acceleration equals to a0 equals to 2q. Now we need to find out the ratio in between initial velocity and initial acceleration. So we are having the constant ratio will be equal to initial velocity by initial acceleration equals to r by 2q. Okay, students. Let us move forward to the question number 4. A particle moves following a rule such that s square equals to t square plus 1, where s equals to displacement and t equals to time. We need to find out and calculate its acceleration as a function of time. Okay. So in this relation, we need to find out the derivative of it using the chain rule. Okay. So position time relationship is given by s square equals to t square plus 1. We have numbered it as equation 1. Now differentiating both sides of equation 1 with respect to t, we have, now see students, here we have used the chain rule. Okay. 2s ds dt equals to 2t. Okay. This part is on the left hand side. We are using the chain rule of differentiation. Okay. We have already discussed it. What is chain rule, right? So we are having ds dt equals to v equals to t by s, which equals to t by root over t square plus 1, which we have numbered as equation 2. Since s equals to s square equals to t square plus 1 as per given expression, so we can say that s equals to root over t square plus 1, discarding the negative part. Now differentiating both sides of equation 2 with respect to t, we are having dv dt equals to a equals to ddt of t by root over t square plus 1. Now we will be using our quotient rule of differentiation, that is the denominator by numerator by denominator expression form, and that is gf dash minus fg dash by g square. Okay, that is bottom function into derivative of top function minus top function into derivative of bottom function divided by bottom function whole square. ddx of f by g will be g f dash minus f dash g f dash df dash minus f g dash by g square. Okay students, hope you have remembered that. Now we are just using this quotient rule over here, and we are having a equals to root over t square plus 1 into ddt of t minus t into ddt of bottom function, that is root over t square plus 1 divided by bottom function whole square, that is root over t square plus 1 whole square. So what we are having, a equals to root over t square plus 1 into ddt of t equals to 1, that is we have put 1 over here, minus t into ddt of root over t square plus 1. We have again used the chain rule over here, and we are having 2t by 2 root over t square plus 1, which results in root over t square plus 1 minus t square by root over t square plus 1 by t square plus 1. So we are having t square plus 1 minus t square by root over t square plus 1 divided by t square plus 1, which ultimately results in at equals to 1 by t square plus 1 to the power 3 by 2, which we have numbered as equation 3, which gives us the acceleration as a function of time. Hope you have understood. Let us move forward to the next problem. That is the problem number 5. Okay. The displacement z of an object moving along z-axis varies with time as follows: z equals to 1 by log of cos t. Compute the velocity of the moving object as function of time. Okay students, so let us move forward to the solution of this problem. The displacement time relation has been given as follows, that is z equals to 1 by log of cos t. We have numbered it as equation 1. Let us assume log cos t equals to u. So putting this value over here in equation 1, we are having z equals to 1 by u. We have numbered it as equation 2. So differentiating both sides of equation 2 with respect to u, we are having dz du equals to minus 1 by u square. Again u equals to log cos t, right? We have assumed it so far. So we are having cos t equals to v, which gives us, we have assumed it as cos t, we have assumed cos t as v, which gives us dv by dt equals to minus sin t. Okay students, so putting this v equals to cos t in u equals to log cos t, we are having u equals to log v, and we have numbered it as equation 3. Differentiating both sides of equation 3 with respect to v, we are having du dv equals to 1 by v. So we have du dt equals to du dv into dv dt equals to 1 by v into minus sin t, which gives us ultimately minus sin t by cos t equals to minus tan t. Here we have used the chain rule. Okay. Let us move forward to the last part of this problem, that is we need to find out dz dt. Okay, dz dt, we needed to find out that, right? Compute the velocity of moving object as function of time. So we need to find out dz dt, that is none other than the velocity. Okay, so we are having dz dt, again we are using the chain rule. So dz dt equals to dz du into du dt equals to minus 1 by u square into minus tan t, that is tan t by u square. Putting u equals to log cos t, we are having v equals to tan t by log cos t whole square. So this equation 4 reveals the velocity of the moving object as function of time. That's all for today. We'll be meeting very soon in the next part of this problem set. Till then, bye. Stay safe, stay home. Okay, students, keep studying. Bye.